So the example you've been working with is helping us decide which form of sampling is the best for our situation. So first we need to understand what a sample is. So as you can see in the picture here, a population includes everybody, and a sample is just a small group of the population. So for example, the population might be everyone at Victor Junior High, and then a sample might just be the Red 7 students. So an example of when we use population is when we need to make sure we get an answer from everybody. Two examples, one would be the 2020 census. That's where the United States surveys every single person in the country. And another example would be Mr. Gee took a survey before we left school about the technology that you have in your house. And it was very important that every single person was asked because we need to reach everybody. A sample might be just when we're deciding what kind of year-end activity to do. We might just pick a small group of students to survey, but we want to make sure we have a variety of people so that it's not what we call bias, so we can make a fair decision of what would represent everybody in the school. In this situation, all four of these types of collecting data, all four of these are valid. Some of them may give us better results. Some are easier to do, but they are all valid ways of surveying. The first one is called a convenience sample. And it's called convenience because, just like it states, it's easy, it's convenient. The people on your bus, you don't have to look for people, you can get your data pretty quickly. It will be valid. Some disadvantages might be then you're only talking to people from a certain neighborhood, many of them may be related, so not always the best, but it's easy and it can get you some quick data. The next one is called systematic. This is often used. Maybe you're in the mall and there's someone there taking a survey and they just try and catch every third, every fourth person. So this is a valid way of collecting information. The downside of this would be you are only going to be surveying those people who buy their lunch. You're leaving out all of the people who maybe spend their lunch in the classroom with a teacher, or they bring their lunch or don't eat. I don't understand that group, but there are some people that way. So group 3, this is called a voluntary survey. Just where you ask people, hey, stop by, fill out the survey if you want to. Sometimes this is good if you're surveying people about activities to do at a school dance, student activity night, and maybe just the people who want to attend would be the ones who would fill out the survey. So that might be valid in that sense. The last one is called random. I think this one will give you your most accurate population, or I'm sorry, your most accurate sample. However, it might not be very realistic because it's definitely more time consuming. So you really have to decide what you're using your data for. How important is it that it's perfectly random? Or can you just do something that's easy to get some data to give you an idea of what you're trying to look at for your population? Now that we've had a few minutes to discuss this, go back and look at Table 2 and see if you can add some advantages or disadvantages to your list so that we can really start to understand these. Again, it's not, you don't necessarily need to know the name of the type of sampling, but it's really important to understand that idea of collecting data. For number 3, my personal opinion is probably number 4, the random sample, but you could, with your right explanation, you could argue whichever one you pick, they're all valid, you could make your point. So here it's really important that you have a solid explanation. As you move into question 5, there's a survey here, and then you're going to answer some questions about relative frequency. Keep in mind, all relative frequency is a percentage. If you look down into part A, it's asking the relative frequency for each response. That just means your total is 5,280. So you're just going to make your ratio and find your percentage to get your relative frequency. So it's a nice review of percents. Once again, please make sure you email your teacher if you have any questions. Have a great day.